Good afternoon, good afternoon. Peace and blessings. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless, back with another visual, another audio rather. But you can listen and, you know, uh view this content, I just wanted to come back because we definitely haven't produced any content in a few days. And I want to get back to the politics of things. And it's something that's been really, really interesting going on. And as the title says, a happy Sunday, everybody. Peace and blessings. Um, what's with these judges capping for illegal immigrants? Now, as you know, we just seen these judges crashing out, going up against Donald Trump when he trying to send criminal illegal immigrants that are part of uh, organizations like Trinidad Aragua, MS-13, and things of that nature. We've seen judges try to put in orders to combat the president and all type of things. We've seen people go after uh, illegal immigrants that are part of terrorist organizations have been sent to El Salvador. We've seen judges try to stop airplanes that are over the ocean and reroute them. Like, why do we care so much about that? Then we've seen actual senators go over to El Salvador to try to get illegal immigrants out of jail. I like this picture that. Could you a picture a foreign senator come to America and demand that a prisoner that is in prison in America, like say somebody from El Salvador came to America, like release this prisoner that y'all have that's a United States citizen and bring them back to El Salvador. We had a senator go to El Salvador from United States, a senator, to go and try to have a known MS-13 member who committed crimes to have him released and brought back to America. And needless to say, he was unsuccessful in his attempts. But I just find it fascinating that we would even have people in our government to be capping for these illegal immigrants. And other related news, we have two judges. Now, see, when we say that these judges have been put in place by the Democratic Party to combat what we are trying to do to get illegal immigration under control, they're showing their hand more and more every day that they sent and allowed all these illegal immigrants throughout the country for an agenda. And the agenda, from my vantage point, is to have Democratic voters moving forward because they know they lost a lot of support amongst the American people with this last administration. So it's just insane, man, to see, sanctuary cities. And make no mistake, man, I want to be clear. I don't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat. I'm an independent. And what I mean by that is the definition of being an independent is this. If the Democrats are making the most sense, I'm going to roll with the Democrats. If the Republicans are making the most sense, I'm going to roll with the Republicans. If neither party is making any sense, then I'm going to just sit it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any loyalty to the left or the right. It's just who making the most sense at that moment, if anybody. And right now, the Republican Party is making all the sense in the world. Now, what I'm going to play for you guys is this. It's a story where two judges were capping for these illegal immigrants so heavy that one of these judges out of New Mexico, a former judge, was actually having illegal immigrants living in his home. known gangbanger terrorist living in his home. He was arrested. I think this was Thursday or Friday. He was arrested for harboring known illegal immigrants, in his home. Now, one would have to ask, why would a former judge be having illegal immigrants living in his home? Not only living in his home, but giving them assault rifles to go to, you know, go to the gun range to go shoot. So and we know this because the illegal immigrant is on Instagram showing off AK-47s, throwing up gang signs and all type of crazy stuff. And then even so, it's crazy. And then we got another judge out of Wisconsin, out of Milwaukee, I believe, that actually had a situation where a legal immigrant get caught a domestic violence case where they beat up a man and a woman so bad and got arrested, went to trial. So you got the people there sitting there willing to, testify what happened in the case. And the judge in that case, a woman, judge pulled the illegal immigrant in her chambers, let them out the side door, and came back and wiped the case clean, wiped the case clean and went on about her day. And the people sitting up there that's waiting to go to court are looking like, what happened? They're like, oh, I let them go. Case dismissed. So then the FBI, shout out to Pam Bondi and Cash Patel, they arrested this judge that just let this illegal immigrant that committed a crime against some American citizens go scot-free. But I'm gonna play this for y'all so y'all can hear this insanity for yourself. And one has to question, right? Like, what is the big deal with all these illegal immigrants and why are they capping for them? And my thing is this: I think these illegal immigrants are so tapped into our government, you know what I'm saying, that they sold this country out, and the cartels have really infiltrated our government. Let's get to it.
Back to our top story now. Federal officers arresting 2 county judges, one current and one former. One of them, a sitting Milwaukee County Circuit Judge, Hannah Dugan, who FBI Director Kash Patel says is being charged with obstruction for allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest last week.
So this is the first judge out of Milwaukee, Hannah Dugan. This is crazy.
The second arrest, a former New Mexico judge, along with his wife, now facing charges related to harboring a member of the Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. Joining me now, the nation's top prosecutor.
So that was the second judge, last all in 1 week. He out of New Mexico, him and his wife. They said that they had multiple illegal immigrants, but one in particular was a known gangbanger that they've been declared. This gang, Tren de Aragua, has been declared a terrorist group by the United States government and the Mexican government. So you harboring a terrorist in your home as a former judge, and these judges are people that sit before American citizens and make judges, give people sentences and determine if they are guilty or innocent. But y'all sitting up here harboring criminals, got them sneaking out the back door in courtrooms, and also living in their house holding AK-47s. This is insanity. This is Attorney Pam Bondi that's going to get the details.
Attorney General Pam Bondi, it's been quite a busy day for you.
Very busy day.
Thank you. And I'm actually getting statements in as our interview is beginning. I'll get to that for a second because I'm going to read it cold with you. But let's start, Pam, with Judge number 1, Hannah Dugan in Milwaukee. You arrested a sitting judge. Why did you feel that was necessary?
It was appalling to all of us what happened. I used to be a domestic violence prosecutor, and this case involved someone who was deported under President Obama, came back into our country, we don't know when, illegally, and he was living at a residence. And
let's stop that right there. Let's be clear. This guy was deported by the Obama administration. Now, Obama, this when Democrats had some sense. Obama was even stricter on deportations and illegal immigration than Trump ever was. Obama was considered the deportator chief in office. Like he was getting them out of here. This when Democrats was making some sense on this issue. And this guy was deported back when Obama was in office. And he came back when they say they don't know when, but I'm pretty sure we all know when. When Joe Biden allegedly was in office, he like, okay, the border wide open. Let me skip to my loop back on over to America.
He beat up a man so badly he had to go to the hospital, his roommate. He punched him with a closed fist in the face 30 times. The victim fell to the ground and he choked him. Then the girlfriend came in, tried to break it up. He punched a woman in the face with a closed fist so hard she fell to the ground. He hit her in the arm. Both of them had to go to the hospital.
So this illegal immigrant beat up this guy so bad he punched him in the face 30 times. Then choke slam the dude. You know what I'm saying? Now you already over here illegally. You out here beating up people on the street. The dude girlfriend slide over there, try to help. He beat up, mop her, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? They had to go to the hospital, and then dude get arrested. Now, this case went before this Judge Hannah, and watch what happens.
The fight's broken up. They're taken to the hospital, and he's threatening to do further harm to them later. So it's hard enough to get any victim of domestic violence to cooperate. We had 2 victims sitting in the courtroom that day.
So what did this judge do that led to ICE coming in to make this arrest?
So she's a sitting judge on a domestic violence case. He's the defendant, Ruiz, 2 victims and a prosecutor, a state prosecutor in the courtroom. It is routinely done when people are picked up on any kind of warrants that it's done outside a courtroom. It's been done in that courthouse. It's been done in a courthouse where I prosecuted 20 years ago. The reason? Because executing a warrant is one of the most dangerous things law enforcement officers can do. You never know what you're going to encounter behind that door, what kind of weapons with any defendant. So the safest place to do it is if you know they're going to be in a courthouse because they've gone through security.
So ICE then got a tip that he gonna be at court. So ICE like, all right, this is the best place to go get the illegal immigrant. And we know these sanctuary cities, right? When they get these, I don't know if Milwaukee is a sanctuary city, so I don't want to assume. But we've seen in the past, like here in Chicago, ICE has been having trouble finding these violent illegal immigrants that get arrested. As a sanctuary city, they can only hold them for so long, and then they just release them back to the public. When ICE comes to just scoop them up and deport them, instead of working with ICE, they harbor these criminals, basically going against federal law. You know, for one, you already over here illegally. Then on top of that, you over here committing violent crimes, you gotta go. But instead of now we got a judge here going against the grain and, you know, see that ICE is there to get this guy. Why would you be going out your way to protect this criminal as a judge?
A defendant isn't armed. It's a sterile daytime situation. It's routinely done in courthouses, any kind of warrants. So the ICE team was there, DEA, FBI, ICE team. They're outside the courtroom. They're in the courthouse. The judge finds out that they're there to arrest him. And the way he got on the radar, of course, is he got arrested. He beat up these people. So she knew they were there. They were outside. She comes outside the courtroom and is visibly angry, yelling, raising her voice to them. She directs them.
So she get an attitude with ICE. Like, what the hell y'all here for? The judge, like, man, screaming at the ICE agents, like, get out my courtroom. What y'all doing here? This is my illegal immigrant. I don't care if he out on the street punching people 30 times and beating up, slapping women and throwing them to the ground and choke slamming them. Y'all ain't taking my illegal immigrants nowhere. Hey, come on. We're going to sneak you out the back door. Case dismissed. What kind of craziness? This is like a bad movie we watching, bro.
To go see the chief judge. So while they do that, she goes back in the courtroom, gets back on the bench while a prosecutor's sitting there with two victims of domestic violence and tells the defense attorney and the defendant, Ruiz, to come in the back with her. She takes them in the back in a private area. This is appalling. Through her chambers, lets them back out and leave. One of the DEA agents, I believe, sees them exiting and doesn't know what's going on. So she continues with her docket, finishes her docket. Two victims sit in court all morning long, waiting. At the end, the prosecutor said, "What happened? Why didn't the case get called?" She removed it from the docket without telling anyone, had them go out a door to leave. Then ICE, meaning the ICE team, DEA, FBI, have to chase him down, which is what is so dangerous, outside the courthouse by an intersection. Pedestrians could have been killed. He could have been hurt. They could have been hurt. They catch him.
So ICE had to go chase this dude because a judge let him and his girl or whatever out the side door. So they catch him at an intersection. I mean, like the Attorney General Pam Bondi said, I love Pam Bondi, man. I love her energy, man. But can you imagine this, man? Like, you an ICE agent coming like, yeah, we about to go grab this dude up. You just made it more dangerous for everybody involved, including the illegal immigrant. Because now he probably been, went and got a weapon, anything. Now they didn't chase this dude down, caught him at an intersection. This is unbelievable, bro. Why are these judges capping for illegal immigrants to this degree? Now you and your career is in jeopardy because you could go to jail for a very long time as a judge doing something like this.
Take them into custody. Those are the facts of the case.
All right. As you lay out the facts of the case, as you can imagine, people are now responding. Bear with me here. We just got this full statement from the lawyer representing Judge Hannah Dugan saying that she has committed herself to the rule of law and the principles of due process for her entire career as a lawyer and a judge. She has retained former United States Attorney Stephen Biskupic to represent her.
So she didn't win. So the judge that got lawyered up, you know what I'm saying? But like, she didn't want to got her a lawyer and making an official statement, man. This is crazy.
Judge Dugan will defend herself vigorously and looks forward to being exonerated. Okay, quick reaction to that. But what I really want to get to is also the governor is speaking out, as well as a Democratic Congresswoman, Gwen Moore, because you can imagine the other side of politics responding to this. But first, your response to the attorney representing Dugan.
Well, everyone is entitled to their day in court. Judges, criminal defendants, victims, and those victims were entitled to their day in court, and they didn't get it because she let a criminal defendant walk out a door. She helped them. She obstructed justice. And that's what she's charged with.
Okay.
That is crazy. That is, man, this is insanity, bro. Like, when you break it down, like, you a judge sitting up there, y'all come on. I know you didn't beat this couple up, man, on the street, and put them in the hospital, and you were an illegal immigrant on top of all of that in our country illegally. Obama kicked you out, but you snuck back over here. But I don't even care about none of that. I know I'm supposed to protect my community, but I think that you should go scot-free, and we just gonna drop this case, man. Come on back here in my chambers, man. It's a side door back here, man. You go on head on about your business, man. Go beat somebody else up, by the way. And those ICE agents that's here to get you, I'm about to go cuss them out. Like, what kind of mess is this?
This statement now coming from Democratic Congresswoman Gwen Moore, who represents Milwaukee. As you know, she said of Judge Dugan's arrest that the administration's willingness to weaponize federal law enforcement is shocking, and that she is alarmed at the increasingly lawless actions of the Trump administration.
What? So this some other lady talking about Trump and Pam Bondi and them tripping. I'm aware of the reports of Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan was arrested by the FBI this morning. And this lady, this representative named Gwen Moore, is acting like Pam Bondi tripping. The Trump administration is wrong for getting these violent illegal immigrants and deporting them and holding these people accountable that are obstructing justice. The Trump administration, they tripping. You see why I say I'm rolling with the Republicans on this? I'm an independent, but they making sense? Because this lady makes no sense as a Democratic Congresswoman, Gwen Moore. Her statement is ridiculous. What if that man would have beat your son and your son's girlfriend up on the street for no reason? Would you have the same sentiments about this situation? I'm just saying.
Well, we'll let this play out in court, and I hope she reaches out to the victims of domestic violence who were in that courtroom that day, and the state prosecutor who sat there all day long in Milwaukee or all morning waiting on this case to be heard.
What do you say to critics who warn that you're attempting to intimidate the courts?
You know what we're doing? We're attempting to protect victims. We're attempting to protect citizens, make America safe again. That's what we're doing. And if you in this country, you're going to be held accountable. Doesn't matter. We're going to prosecute you. No one is above the law, not even a judge. We've seen that in Milwaukee, and we've seen it in New Mexico.
Got it. Judge number 2, Joel Cano, former.
New Mexico.
Yes, exactly. And his wife. You arrested them because you say they were harbor.
Now, Judge Joe Canos out of New Mexico and his wife. This is the second judge. Like, all this happened like the same day or almost like within 24 hours of each other. Last like Thursday and Friday. You know what I'm saying? Today's Sunday. So yeah, these two judges got arrested like Friday. And you know, this next judge, like I said, out of New Mexico, a former judge, but you know, he still got, you know, a high-ranking judge in New Mexico, had illegal immigrants living with him, giving them guns, and they known gangbangers, and all, at least one of them they could confirm, you know, was a part of this terrorist organization called Tren de Aragua that was taking over apartment complexes in Colorado. I mean, why is they living in your crib, bro? Let's go.
A Tren de Aragua gang member. What evidence do you have?
So here's what happened here. ICE had a tip. He came into our country. I have the dates here. December 2023 through Eagle Pass, Texas. They got a tip that multiple illegal TDA members were living at this residence. They learn it's a judge's residence. You can't make this up. They really.
So I just get a tip that this dude, you know, is sitting there living at a residence. Like, he came through Texas, through Eagle Pass, Texas. You know, ICE own these illegal immigrants. And then they do their research and find out where this illegal immigrant is staying at is at this judge's crib with his wife. Like, you can't make this stuff up, man. This is insane, man. Why are these judges crashing out and capping for illegal immigrants like this?
They probably couldn't believe it. So he's picked up on a tip from someone at the residence. And then another judge, a judge named Damian Martinez, says, well, I know Judge Cano. He has a really good BS meter. So I don't think he would let just anyone live with him.
So here you go again. These Democrats be having people in the Democratic Party, another judge that came out and capped for this dude that got an illegal immigrant staying at his home. That's a known terrorist member. At this point, it's not just no gang. It's declared a terrorist organization because they've been terrorizing American citizens. So You got this other Democratic judge like, oh well, you know, I trust his judgment. So if the dude staying at his crib, then he must be okay. Man, guess what? What? Like, and these are the people that are in courtrooms making decisions about other Americans' lives.
So the judge releases this guy. Now I'm going to tell you the facts of the case in a minute. Why ICE wanted to arrest him. So that's not acceptable, of course. So he's back out. So what they found out, then he was arrested and charged. He had 4 phones. He had 2 Facebook accounts. He had been to a shooting range. This is an illegal TDA member, and I'll tell you why we know he's a TDA member in a minute. A shooting range with an AR-15 with a suppressor because he had filmed himself there. Other known gang members. They had tattoos in Spanish saying true death. He had a necklace on about death. He had all the TDA insignia. You can go online and look at all of that. On his phone, he also had, one of the tattoos was an AK-47, and he talked about it, posting on it, saying it was the TDA train, that tattoo. He joked about a $5,000 reward that was out there to arrest TDA members. And not only that, on his phone, I've seen the pictures, he had 2 horrific pictures of decapitated victims. 2 victims murdered, decapitated, their hands cut off, their heads cut off.
So this dude got 4 phones with like this. People say, oh, well, how you know he was the dude got 4 phones with people heads and hands chopped off, decapitated, and everything else with all other known TDA members, Trinidad Ragua. They talk about how they, about to go, demonstrate and chop other people's hands off and all this. Yeah, living at a judge's crib, and the judge is giving them AK-47s to go to the shooting range so he could practice on who he gonna take out next. Like, you can't be for real, bro. You can't be for real, bro. Like, this is y'all, man. And y'all see why we go so hard about these illegal immigrants, because these are people that's walking down the street at the grocery store, that they just what they own, bro. And to know that our government judges are allowing these people to just roam free and they perform in courtrooms, it's insanity. So yeah, they arrested this judge when they found out that they had this terrorist living in their home and they, taking care of them.
What TDA members
Is he
do.
facing other charges?
He will be. He has. This just happened. So what happened was, so he gets arrested, and then they learn, based on the evidence, based on the phones, based on the Facebook accounts, the wife, Nancy Kano, law enforcement believes she facilitated destroying evidence. They have recordings of her talking about he had to get rid of the phones. He needed to get rid of them because they could incriminate him.
So you're saying a former judge of New Mexico knew that he had Venezuelan gang members living and working for him. That's what you're saying.
Well, what we know, that was the judge's wife. So the judge, Joel Cano, what happened with him is post Miranda, he admitted that he took one of the defendant's phones and took a hammer himself, destroyed the phone with a hammer, then took the parts of the phone, carried it away to a city dumpster.
What? So, oh my God. So this judge know that this phone got evidence of this illegal immigrant committing heinous crimes, took the phone and tried to destroy evidence as a judge. What's with these judges capping for these illegal immigrants so heavy, unless they have been compromised by cartel members that infiltrated our judicial system? This is sad, man. This is sad. But hey, man, I'm at 30 minutes. Maybe we can go back and talk about this another time. But yeah, man, it's your boy Jay Taylor. Voices for the voiceless. We love y'all. What's with these judges, man? Capping for these illegal immigrants. Peace and blessings. Until the next time, we'll speak to you soon. Much love.